So, hello everyone, and good morning and good evening. So, let me share my screen once. Um, okay. So, in the last class, what we have discussed is um, how to apply styles to the custom components like functional components and class components. And we apply styles using inline, internal, and external. We also discuss the props concept. So, props concept means we want to share the data from a parent component to the child component. So, um, that's a props concept, right? And today, what we are going to discuss is um, the first thing is how to connect to Bootstrap. Okay, because we wanted the whole UI, the front end thing is going to be in Bootstrap for almost all applications. So I tell you how to connect to the Bootstrap for your application to, uh, with React.js. And also we developed a small application. Okay, one small application. That's application name is React Social using Bootstrap. Okay, and the third one we're gonna start with events binding. So how to do event binding? So inside only we get a concept called states. Okay, so once that is finished, and today we'll start with forms handling. Okay, how to handle the forms data. So this is today's agenda now. So to connect Bootstrap. So to connect Bootstrap, I have created just now a fresh application that is you can see the logs here. I have, yes. So I made here npm init react app and I create a new application called React Bootstrap. So it is already done just now, and it is I have already loaded that in my WebStorm. Okay, so let me start this. So npm start. Okay, so it starts the meanwhile to connect to Bootstrap. What is required? So we need some set of files required to start with the Bootstrap. I hope you might know this, right? For Bootstrap, we need a set of files like um, one is bootstrap.css is required, and bootstrap.js is required, and also some JS files. If you are talking about, I tell you, there is one jQuery.js is required, and popper.js required, and bootstrap.js. Okay, so these files are enough. And but I wanted to use material design Bootstrap. So for that, an extra file is mdb.css is required, and also mdb.js is required. And also I wanted to connect to the font awesome icon, so I want to show some icons on the page. So that is font awesome dot css. Okay, let's keep it here. So these are the files. Okay, so where to get the files? So it is started now. Fine. So where to get the files is, let me go to Bootstrap. Yeah, this is official website of Bootstrap. So here, current version is 4.5. You can download it. Just click on download button, and here you get the source files and map files, everything. Yeah, you can download this. But problem is, if you download from here, you only get the bootstrap files, but you won't get, see, this does not include the documentation, source code, and even jQuery and popper. So in order to start with bootstrap, you need to have jQuery and popper, but those things are not available in this download. So for this matter, what is my plan is download MDB directly. So MDB is actually a material design concept which is built on top of Bootstrap. So for example, let's take a CSS, right? So CSS is a core language to apply styles for a website. Now, what is Bootstrap? Is a Bootstrap is a library of CSS, so which makes your job easy. And in the next layer of Bootstrap, there is something called MDB. So there is some Japanese guys has developed one another library that's called Material Design Bootstrap, and which is built on top of Bootstrap. So if you download MDB internally, all these files will come. Okay, so I suggest instead of going to the plain bootstrap, so I wanted to go to md bootstrap. So this is the for something rich look. Okay, so this official bootstrap, but when compared to this, material design bootstrap will contain some rich look like this. So I need this one. And one more thing, this is free and this is not free, half free and half paid. Anyway, we are using a free version only. Some components are paid, but we are not using any paid components. If you want, we'll develop from scratch. Okay, so I need this one. So way to download is, we can just click on getting started. Okay, so choose your version. See, you have free version and pro version. So, but I need actually a free version. So you can just come down and there's a button, download zip. Okay, so it is downloading. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so meanwhile, in my application, where I keep a bootstrap is in public folder. Okay, so in public folder, I create a directory called bootstrap. Okay, so in the bootstrap, I want to create, see here, for CSS files one folder, JS files one folder. So I create two folders, right click new directory CSS, and for JavaScript I need one other folder, that's the JS folder. So CSS and JS. So let me grab the CSS files from the downloaded MDB. So you can go to downloads folder. This is what we have downloaded. You can extract that. So once you extract, you can go to the CSS folder. Here we can find all the files. Actually, what we want Bootstrap and MDB. Font Awesome we have to get from outside. These two. So Bootstrap is here, MDB is here. Okay, and I need one file called style.css also. That is for custom styles. So copy those three, and where you have to paste is in the CSS folder. Okay, so I got bootstrap.css and don't add to, oh sorry, I made add. Okay, that's okay. um, we got bootstrap.css, mdb.css and style.css. So style.css is actually for custom styles. If you wanted to even override the mdb styles and you want to give your own custom styles, you have to go for style.css. Fine. And we need JS folder. So JS means go back and JS folder. You can find some files. What we want, we need jQuery first, Popper, Bootstrap, and MDB. These four files required. So those all four files you can find in here in JS folder. jQuery, Popper, Bootstrap, MDB. So these four files, right? So copy them, and where we have to paste is in the JS folder. So paste it. Okay, done. So I got all JS files. So one last file required, that is a font awesome. You can directly go to the website called Font Awesome, and from there you can download Font Awesome 6. Um, yes, so this is a Font Awesome website, and but there's a paid one. Um, it's okay. I have actually direct link uh, for free one, that is Font Awesome. This one, use fontawesome.com/release/slash 5.8.1. This is a free one. You can just enter. This is the Quantasum source code. I want to save this to, right click, save as. I'll share this file, okay, no worry. On desktop, font awesome 5.8.1.css. Just save it. So where is that? Where is font awesome? I think it's saved in my desktop folder, is it? It's saved somewhere. Open shoulder. Oh, it's here. Okay, copy this. And where we keep is in the CSS folder. Okay, done. So these are the files required, and don't worry, I'll share this folder to you, and you can just use the same files for all the next applications. Okay, done. Now we got all the required files for the Bootstrap, and I need to connect these files to the HTML. Okay, because wait 1 minute. Let me close all other things. Yeah. So first of all, I don't want this setup. I want to just clean up this code and then we'll start connecting a Bootstrap. So where is this code is coming from? SRC folder in that app.js. So here it is header tag, right? I don't need this header tag. Just delete everything. And I don't need the logo. Let's empty. And app.css, I don't need the styles also empty. So it's completely empty. So yes, perfect. Now I'll make some h1 tag. Welcome to Bootstrap. Okay, save it. It's not refresher. Yeah. So now I have made h1 tag welcome to Bootstrap, and it was display over here. Now it's just very basic, styles of React, but I wanted to apply a Bootstrap styles. So Bootstrap styles where you configure. See, we have actually downloaded and kept in Bootstrap folder, but we are not configured these CSS files anywhere. So where you have to configure the files is in your index.html of a public folder. So let me open index.html. So here you have to configure. So I don't need this, the comments, delete them, and this is not required. All these comments let me delete. Let me keep it simple. Yeah. So let me connect all the style sheets here. So let me add a comment. Bootstrap CSS files. So just say link tab, and it is in what Bootstrap folder /CSS slash. First, I want to connect to the font awesome, and then Bootstrap folder /CSS slash bootstrap.css, and another one is mdb.css. Another one is style.css. So this is my custom styles. As of now, it is empty. So if we want, we'll add here. Okay. Next, yeah, JS files. So JS files you must have to connect at the end of the body section. So let me add a comment. Bootstrap JS files here. So let's say script src bootstrap folder /js folder / first jQuery, and order must important here, and even this order also must important. So first jQuery, and then you have to connect to the popper, and then you have to connect to the bootstrap, and then you have to connect to the mdb. That's it. So you have to just grab these files from mdb and keep these files, the 4 files over here and another 4 files here in the same order. So now you can good to go with bootstrap along with mdb. So you can get some rich rich layouts using mdb than bootstrap. Okay, so that's the setup. Okay, fine. And now if you have configured the bootstrap, just let me restart once. Okay, for safe side, because it is done in a home page. So let me restart once. Npm start. See, already connected to bootstrap. That's fine, and I just wanted to restart again. See, the font has changed. It means bootstrap has connected. Even if you wanted to know, you can do one thing in app.js, close the index. Welcome to bootstrap is done, and I want to just check bootstrap component now. Just make some button components. Just take a normal button. I'll give some classes. Give the class as a class name btn. See, Now all the bootstrap files just started coming in as a hint. See, these are coming from public folder. Okay, so that's the best thing. btn btn minus info. Okay, let's say welcome button. So what happens? You get the bootstrap button. Yes, perfect. This is what configuration of bootstrap for your application. Fine. And now, um, yesterday we discussed the props concepts and all those, right? So now let's make some good example on bootstrap as well. So now what we do is, I don't want h1 and all. I just wanted to make a nice nav bar here. Okay. So how to make a nav bar? Let's start with the bootstrap nav bar. You need to write a nav tag. You give the class called what, navbar, and navbar brand. No, sorry, navbar dark and bg dark. Okay, so inside I just write some anchor tag, some hash, and give the class called navbar brand, and let's make some react bootstrap. Okay, so what happens? You get a nice navbar. This is a bootstrap navbar. Okay, fine. So below this navbar, I wanted to design a page using some three cards. I'll just tell you the layout. Let me go to page. Okay, so what is my application plan here is, here I wanted to create actually a three cards. Okay, here is one card, and here is one card, and here is one card. So each card, okay, so each card we need to have a custom components. Okay, so I just wanted to create card components. Okay, so let's create a card component and just add over here. So what I do is, um, back to here, let me go to src folder. We know how to create a components, right? So let me go to src, right click new directory, components. Okay, so what is your component is card component. Okay, so let's take a new JavaScript card, capital card. Okay, or else you can give a proper name called bootstrap card. Yesterday we made function card, class card, so now bootstrap card. Okay, fine. And I wanted to make a class-based component, not a functional component. So let's make a class structure. Import React from React. Next, watch class. So class was the name of file name bootstrap card, and extends React dot capital components. Okay, I think it's bootstrap spelling wrong. Okay, we'll modify. Refactor. If you want to change any file name, that's very easy. You can right click. You want to create new is a new keyword. I mean new option. You want to modify the file name. There's something called refactor rename. Okay. Here I think boots strap. Okay, fine. Try to modify. Yes. So it is modified this class name as well. Fine. So here, what do you want? Render REN tab. You can just say I repeat REN tab. That's the beauty of WebStorm. Okay, so it comes with all default setup. So let's make a H2 card component. Okay, and let me export this. Export default bootstrap card. Okay, now I got a bootstrap card. So now I want to inject this bootstrap card to the app components, because I want to show that over here. So this outside thing is app. I want to add that. So what you do, go to app.js now. Below the navbar, let's add a bootstrap card components. So what happens, that will be displayed over here. But it is normal text, it's not a card. So let's make a nice card. For what you do is, you can go there. I don't need h2, I want a nice card. So what I do, I'll make dot card. Okay, that's a bootstrap class, and card body. So here I write some heading H3, or else let's make some nice paragraph. Just say lorem 40 tab. Okay, and just make some simple button. Let's say read more, and here I'll give the class called btn minus dark and btn minus sm, a small but. Okay, so I have made a bootstrap card now. So let's check. You got a nice bootstrap card. Okay, nice. I don't want this card to occupy the full screen. I wanted to make a small card over here. So you want to do that, you need to go for the grid system of Bootstrap. What I do is, back to app.js. Here, see, I'll just make some container or something. Here, I'll take one container of Bootstrap in that one row. Okay, because my plan is I want to design a cards in this way. So this is one container. In that one row, 3 columns. First column you have a card. So I made a row in that call MD3 or 4. Okay. So as you know, Bootstrap in one row you have 12 column layout. So each is 4, 4, 4. So column D4. In that I will write a Bootstrap card. So what happens? Your Bootstrap card not going to stretch for the whole page. It only occupy the column D4 width. So now check. You got only that small card. Okay, looks good. But I just make some column D3 now. Some even less one. Okay, looks good. And what else? Yeah. And one more thing. I just want to display one nice image over here. Okay, that looks good. You want display image, you need to have some images. I think I have, yeah, I have an images folder. Here, I have the whole list of images. Okay, I just wanted to use these images in my page. Okay, I want to display this card with these images. So what we do is, you can just copy the images folder. You can just grab the images from pexels.com. Okay, if you want to get these nice images, I tell you which website you have to follow. That is pexels.com. Okay, so when I go to the pexels.com, you could find some nice images. You can just search for, if we can search what are the keyword you want to search, you can search for, and you get some nice images, and you can select and download free of cost. Okay, and which size you wanted, you can just select and custom size you can download. Okay, so that's how I downloaded, and I kept in the images folder, and those images I needed. So what you do, you copy the images folder, go to your application, and sir, where to paste the images is, you can keep in the src folder. Okay, let me paste in the src folder. See, I got all the images in a src folder. Fine. Now I want to use that image over here in the bootstrap card. So what we do is, can we do one thing? Can we use the props concept here? Because yesterday we have learned the props concept, right? So my plan is, I want to get the image here and I want to pass on the image to here. That looks good. Okay, so let me load image. You can write like this: import image one from dot slash images folder slash card one dot jpg. I think you might have known, right? Earlier here, logo.svg something was there, so it was imported in this way. So import image one from this one, and this image one I want to pass it to this bootstrap card. How to pass? Same like yesterday we have learned the props, right? So here what I do is, better do one thing. Image one you'll confuse. Let's take card one. Okay, so let me pass it on here as a props, so that I can display. So what you do, image is equal to card one. You can import the image in this way, and that value you can pass it on here as a props. Okay, now bootstrap card is expecting a prop called image. So how to get the prop in class based components? this dot props dot image. Okay, go there. But how can you accept the props here using a constructor? So let's make a constructor. You can just say con tab. Okay, I repeat, con tab. Okay, you get the props. So now I wanted to write an image here, img tag. Here I just say src watch. I wanted this dot props dot what is the property name? Property name is image. So you can just make image. Okay, so now save it, go check. You got image, but this image is outside of my card. You can just fix that. You can make it of class call img fluid. So that is a bootstrap class. So go check, it fits. But I wanted to occupy the whole this thing. Let me do one thing. Let me cut this. Keep it in the card instead of card body. Let's keep it outside. Okay, now check. You got a nice card. Okay, but this content looks huge. Let me reduce this. I'll make little lorem. I think I made 40, right? I make just make 20. Tab. Okay, so nice card. I wanted to give some margin top over here. Um, you can do that margin top from app.js. Yeah, container. You can just say margin top 3. Okay, so you will get little margin top. This looks good, but I wanted two other cards. So what do you do? I need some two other images also. So my plan is, let's make some card 2, card 3, card 4, and let's make this card 2, and this is gonna be card 3, and this is gonna be the card 4. Fine, and these cards I wanna push to another bootstrap card. So what you do is, um, yeah, this is one column D3, right? So in the next column, the side by side, in the same row, okay, in the same row, I want another column here. So what I do is, I'll just copy, I paste it. Okay, let's keep it here. Okay, so what happens? You get another card with the same image because you're passing the same image. Let's make a card 2. So what happens? You get the second image. Okay, fine. And let's paste another one and the one. So this is going to be the card 3 and this is going to be the card 4. So now what happens? You will get all the 4 nice cards. Okay, fine. So we achieved the same thing here. 3 cards actually. Here we made 4 cards. Fine. So this is how you can connect Bootstrap for your application. So let me summarize what we have done here. Simple. If you wanted to connect to Bootstrap, you need to have set of Bootstrap files like these files and these files. You can directly download them from mdb bootstrap website, and all the files you can keep in a public folder. You can create a Bootstrap folder inside, keep all CSS files and CSS. You can keep all together, but not looks good. So I just wanted to make a separation. So CSS keep it here and JS keep it here, and you have to connect them in a index.html. For safe side, once you have connected, you just have to restart your Node.js application. And once this is setup is done, you can start using Bootstrap any of your components. So what I have done is, in my app, I made a Bootstrap navbar and Bootstrap cards and everything. Fine. Now one more thing I want to tell you. What is that? Is we made Bootstrap card. It looks good, but what about this thing? Can we make the whole thing inside of one container? See, I'll tell you. Here, this is one component, this one component, this one component. These are all card component, right? All these 3 card components kept inside the main app components. Okay. What is my plan is, I wanted to create one more component that will catch hold of these 3. Okay, because why I'm doing that is, one second, some people is calling. See, why I'm uh, why I wanted to create a new component over here is, see, I tell you. Suppose I wanted to create a one more row. What you do? This is one row, right? You want to create a same row again, same this four cards one more time. So what you have to do? You just have to copy this whole container and then you have to paste it. So what happened? This much code to gets in the next row all the cards. Okay, I didn't want to do that. Let me keep this whole thing inside one more component. Okay, so I tell you, let me create another component. Right click, new, JavaScript. So let's take card container. Okay, this is my separate component now, card container. So in the card container, but if you keep a card container, you have to provide the data, even the nested, no? Okay, so that will just again, next level of, uh, okay, that we'll discuss in the coming classes because it leads to more confusion. So just let's keep it as simple as of now. Okay, keep the cards. That's okay. Single cards, fine. So this is how you can connect a Bootstrap to the React.js. Okay, and now we are moving on to the next concept, that is this one. Create a small application that's called React Social. So what this small application is, as of now we know how to connect to the Bootstrap, right? So let's make some nice a small website, okay, small size website uh, to create. So let's start with that small application called React Social. So let's start with that. Now let me stop the server, Control C. Okay, let's close all things. Yeah. Okay. So go back to my application. Where is that? Open in a folder location. Yeah. So here is my application. Now one very important thing I want to tell you. I wanted to create a new React.js application, right? So till now we have created, okay. So till now we have created the React application. So for every application, we have created a fresh application, right? We are using npm init and all, but this takes a lot of time. I tell you, without creating a fresh application, you can use the existing application for the next application. Okay. So what I want to do is I keep this as a backup. So I create a new folder. What I do, React Bootstrap hyphen React Bootstrap backup. Okay. So here, whenever you create a React.js new application, node modules is the huge file. Okay. So this only contains around 200 MB, but we know which files we have changed, right? Only the public folder we have modified, and also we have modified the src folder. That's it. So these two files, if we can take a backup, you can make to any application. So I just copy public folder src and keep them in the backup. So that's it. So this will you can use it later for a, this is a source code of your React Bootstrap application. So now this you can use it for React Social. Okay, so now back here, let me mm, npm start. Yeah, same application loaded because Don't worry, I have taken a backup of these files to React here, these two files. So I'm going to share only these two files to you. So what you have to do is you have to create a fresh React.js application. In that, only this public and SRC folder you replace, so, so that you will get this thing. Okay, so why you have to share again node modules? It's a lot of time. So just I'm going to share this folder. These two folders you have to replace in your fresh application, so that you will get this output. Okay, fine. And anyway, we have taken a backup. Now let's create an application called React Social. Assume this is your React Social application. Here, I just go back to watch navbar. Yep. Here in the navbar, I don't want this now. I just want to change this to React Social. So now check. It is, I think, modified to, yeah, it's modified to React Social. I just wanted to change something this in one color. Uh, Let me do one thing. Let's take a span. Here is React. Let's make some class name. Text info. So you get some nice React Social in different color. You can make it some space. Yeah, looks good. This is React Social, and here I wanted to make a nice full screen landing page. Okay, here I wanted to make a nice full screen landing page. So for that, I just comment out this for as of now. Okay, so here I want to create a full screen landing page. So to create a full screen landing page, I want to create a new separate component. So let's create a new component. So what I do is here components. Let's create a new component called JavaScript. Let's take landing. Okay. So here I write import React from React, and let's create a class landing extends React dot components, and you can make a render REN tab, and you can make export default landing. Okay, so I'll just make something called landing. Okay, so I just want to display this landing page exactly after the navbar. So what you do is here let's take landing here. So after navbar, landing will display. But here I wanted to make a nice landing page. So to make a landing page, um, I'll do one thing. This division, I'll give the class called my own class. Let's take one full screen, full screen landing. And actually I wanted to create a nice layered, okay, so background one image and one nice dark color on that, some text I wanted, some layers. So this is the full screen landing division. On that I wanted to make some grayish color. So let's make something called overlay, some overlay. In that I wanted to make some text. Let's make some h2 React Social. Okay, so first full screen for image, and this is for some gray out overlay on it, and then some text. Okay, so where you gonna write the styles? Oh, here is I'll use a global style sheet called app.css. Okay, so dot landing. What I wanna do is here. Let me give some background white, some URL. It is gonna be dot slash, I think, images folder slash, I think there is a background, not background, I think social, social.jpg, no repeats, scroll, center. Okay, so let's check. Yes, you got the image, but I wanted to spread this image. You can do a height, some 100 VH. So you get the full screen image, and I want to spread across. So what I do is background size cover. So it covers the whole page. Okay, looks good. And now I don't want this much brightness of image. I want to just give some nice overlay on top of it. So we have taken extra class called overlay. So for overlay, what I do is, so dot overlay. I'll give some transparent background color. RGBA is for transparent. So 000 black color 0.5. So what happens? You get some, but I wanted to occupy this for the whole page. You can make height 100%. So you get, yes, nice overlay, and let's make some more light H. Okay, it is more 7.5. Okay, fine. And next, what about this thing? React Social. I wanted to white color. Okay, we'll do that now. So back to landing. React Social. I just make some HO5 and some class called display 4. Okay, looks good. Bigger one, but text white. I'll give the class called here text white. Okay, we got text white and keep it center here. You can use the flexbox concept. Uh, D flex and flex column, and let's make some height 100 and align items center and justify content also center. Okay, looks good. It's came to the center of a page, but I wanted this to be nice, this color. So what you do is this one, right? Cut this, keep a span tag. Here you're gonna paste it. Let me give the class call text info. So let's make some space. Yes. Now React Social. And below this, I wanted to write some text that you can write p dot lead, some lead text, some lorem 30 tab. So you get some nice text, but that also keep it center. It's not center, right? You can give an extra class called text center. You get some text center. Looks good. Fine. I wanted to give some nice buttons. Okay, you can make some nice two buttons. Let's take a division. Uh, two buttons. One is for registration. Give the class called btn minus info. Let's say register button. Yes, and one more button for login. btn minus white some login button. Okay, so that's one component. See, this landing is one component. Fine. And so this whole landing we have used it over here landing, but I wanted navbar, right? Navbar also I wanted to create a nice component. I don't want to write navbar just like HTML. I want to take this as another component. So you want to take this as separate component. Do one thing, go back to components. Let's create a new component for the navbar. So import React from React, give a class navbar extends React.components. Here, let's take one render. So here I want to substitute the nav. Let me cut this code, keep it in the navbar. Okay, so let me export this, export default. navbar. Okay, there's a navbar component now. So we don't have a navbar, so now let's add a navbar over here. Navbar component, so you get a nice navbar component. Okay, so this is how you will make it beta. Fine, and this whole thing you can actually uncomment. If you can uncomment, you will get the cards also. So you have a nice navbar, landing page, and nice 4 cards. Okay, so these are also nice components. And lastly, I want to make some nice footer. One more component called footer. So components, right click new, no directory, right click new JavaScript. So footer, again import React from React. Let's take a class called footer extends react dot components. So let's make a render. Let me export default footer. Okay, so let me add this footer. Let me add this footer exactly after these cards. So what I do, I go to app.js. Below all this, let's add our custom footer tag. So you get the footer over here. So let's make the footer with some styles. Go to footer and let's take a footer tag. Footer tag. So here you can just write some basic styles like margin top 3, BG, dark text, white text center. Okay, inside one row and one single column. Let's make some H3. Uh, what is that? Copyright 2020, comma React social, and let's make some paragraph. So all rights, and one more developed and maintained by React social. Okay, fine, looks good. Now check. You get some nice card, and I want to give some nice um what is that? Let's make some padding p3. Okay, so looks good. Okay, so why I have made this example is I just wanted to tell you how to connect the bootstrap. See, if you have connect the bootstrap, so our life become easy. You can just make some rich applications. Okay, and one last thing I want to tell you, in the index, why we have configured MD bootstrap instead of normal bootstrap is, see here, if I don't connect MDB, right? If you don't connect MDB, so all the buttons will become like, very regular buttons, and cards also, very basic. This is what the real bootstrap. Okay, but if you connect MDB extra, it will become some richness. See, you got some rich buttons and rich cards. Okay, so that's the only reason we have connected MD bootstrap. Okay, fine, and this is how you can configure the bootstrap for your application. I got some chart. Why you create new component every time? That is what actually the React JS, right? Because as I said, the whole application must have to divide into separate components to maintain the data for its own. Okay, you will understand, after some days. Okay, now we have finished small application, and let's start with event binding and what is this state. Okay, so let's start with understanding this concept, events binding. So events binding, we need one separate project, separate React.js project. So what I do, I just take a backup of this project and then start doing here only. So back to here, I'll just create a separate project, new folder, React minus social. But what we need actually here, we just need only public folder, src folder. Okay, copy them back to here and React Social, paste it. Okay, done. Okay, and we can start using Bootstrap again. So close all the things, and I don't need the components folder now. And in app.js, I don't need all this now. Let's keep it back to original. We don't need this, and we don't need the images, Bootstrap card, not required. Let's keep it back to original. Okay, it's a fresh application now. So now check, nothing is there. Let's make some basic navbar just to understand what we are discussing. Let's take a basic navbar. Give a class called navbar, navbar dark, bg dark, anchor tag hash. Give the class navbar brand. Let's make um, events in React.js. Okay, fine. So now we are discussing events concept in React.js. And the same example, we are also discussing what is state concept. What is state? Yeah, see, we discussed something called props yesterday, right? Props. What is props? So props means the data which we can pass to another component. So you have a data in one component that you have to share with, or okay, you can use this. You have to share with another component. You can use the props. And what is this a new concept called state? State means this state means to maintain its own data to a specific component. So what is this is, I don't want to get any data from outside. I just wanted to maintain my own data in my application. Suppose see here, this is a card. Okay, so for this card, I want to maintain my own data. So what is meant by actually data? Suppose you want to display some image. Okay, so when I click on a button, I want to change the image and some functionality. So whatever the data required for the functionality of this particular component, I want to maintain only for this, because I don't want to share with others, because this is specific to this component only. So if you want to maintain any data which is particularly for our specific components, you have to use the concept called state. So let's see how exactly state works and how to modify the state. Okay, so for this, let's take a simple example of one component. Mm, in SRC, I create a new folder, components, and one second, some people are asking some doubts. Can we import components from different project folder to another different project folder? Not possible. Okay, you must have to keep it from its own project folder. Okay, so different project folder is not possible. Importing React for each component we create, we have any important performance. Performance issue will not be there, but there is not easy way of handling. I mean, you can't easily, modify the contents. Can we insert images without using import statement? Yes, it's possible. Without using import statement, it's possible. I tell you. In app.css, we have used it, right? Dot slash images, like this we can use. Okay, or else you will get data dynamically from the server. Okay, that you can use directly here without using import statement. You can use it directly. So that comes when we actually discuss the concept called uh, looping. Suppose I want to display a table like content of data. So for table content, I will be having some 100 rows. Okay, so each row I want to display one image. So we can't make 100 import statements, right? So we can directly get the data using state and we'll display. So that concept will come out of the state. Okay. Can we write code in one component? Is it possible? Uh, Actually, this question, can we write code in one component? If you wanted to write in one component, it's very hard to maintain because it will become a huge complex. Because why we have come to the React or Angular is we can divide the application into small components and we can maintain its own data for itself, so that our application development process will be easy. But if you wanted to keep everything inside one component, we are not sure uh, which variable belongs to which component and where it is working. Suppose let's assume you want to develop a complex application where you have hundreds of components over hundreds of components with dynamic data. That's highly difficult to maintain. So that's the reason why when application grows bigger and bigger and complex, then that's the reason why we'll maintain its own data for each component. Okay, that's how React and Angular works. Okay, to simplify our complexity of application development. Okay, fine. Now where we stop? Yeah, let's start with states components. I mean states concept. So for states, I'll create a separate components, new JavaScript file, welcome. Let's say okay, welcome message. Not welcome message. Let's take something called nice name. Wish message one components. Okay, so I create a components, and here wait. Uh, when you talk about state components, you know how many types of components we can create in React? We can create how many types of components? We can create two types of components, right? One is functional components, okay, and another one class based components, okay. So when it comes to props, we can use props same way in class and functional, it works. But when actually come to the state concept, functionals concept, I mean functional component doesn't have actually state. Here we have some other new concept called React hooks. Okay, in functional component we can maintain the application state using React hooks. So this actually our next module. This is the second module. As I said, we have wait, I'll show you the, yeah, just see. So our plan is first to understand this one. So first we are discussing the React fundamentals. So once we finish the fundamentals, we'll move on to the React hooks. So when it actually comes to the state concept, we are not using functional component because if you want to maintain a state in functional components, you have to know the concept called React hooks. So this is a new feature given from 16.8 version onwards. So this we will see with functional components after we finish off all the fundamentals. And till now we are using only class component. Okay. Actually, by that time there is no concept of state in functional. Only we have to use class, but they have given new another concept called hooks to maintain a state in functional component. So this we're going to discuss in a second module. Now we'll continue with class components. So as I said, you can see here, see in the fundamentals what we discuss, first application over, and custom component with class and function over, applying styles over, adding bootstrap over, so managing props yesterday over, states in custom components we'll discuss, event handling we'll discuss. Okay, this is here is we are. So once we finish with forms, conditional, HTTP calls, routing and all this, then we will be moving on to hooks concept. Okay, so till then we have only class based components. Okay, fine, and we just create imports React from React and class wish message extends React dot components, and you just take a render. I just give some wish message. So here I'll just say export default wish message. Okay, fine, and let me import. I mean, let me add this to the app. So let me close the style.css. Yeah, here I'll use. wish message. So what happens below the navbar? You will get wish message. Okay, fine. Now, um, what I wanted to do is see here. How can you maintain your application's own data? How to maintain application's own data using a state? So how to create a state object for specific to component is inside a constructor. You have to create a constructor. Okay, so in the constructor you can create a state object like this. So this dot state is equal to one object. Okay, so this object contains your application data. So what type of data? You can create any type of data. Let's take my data is message. uh, what is that? Good morning. Okay, let's take like this, messages hello. Okay, so here in my components I have some data called message hello. I wanted to use that message here. I want to display that hello over here. So how to use that is h1 tag. So you can just say react expression. So this dot stage dot message. Okay, so what happens? You can access the hello. Suppose you have some other data like colors. Okay, colors is one array which contains something called white and some black and silver and something called orange. So you have some data. It's okay. So you have a static data now, and later I tell you how to get this data from server also. Okay. So as of now, let's make some static data. So how to get the colors to display over here? See, remember the data is not coming from outside. We are maintaining our own data, and we can even modify also. I tell you. So I got colors. So colors I want to display here. So what you do? You can make one UL tag li. Okay. Here you can just say this dot colors, sorry, this dot state dot colors of 0. Okay, so you get the first color, the list item white, and if you want to make multiple 1 2 and 3 like this. And if you want to loop it, you have another concept called map. Okay, so that I wanted to discuss in the list. Okay, conditional rendering and list rendering. Then I tell you how to, instead of writing these many lines, if you have 1000 we can't make 1 2 3 4 like that. So we can just make a shortcut that I'll tell you in a list components. But I just wanted to tell you just a simple example how to maintain a state over here and display over here. Okay, it works. Now I want to tell you a new example called event handling. What is that event handling? Let's see. Okay, so here I have message hello, and that hello I display over here. So now I wanted to create a button. Okay, just observe very closely because we are starting with event handling now. Button with a class called btn minus some primary button. Okay, I have a just click me. Okay, so I have a button, I have a text, and I have a button. So now my plan is whenever I click on this button, I want to change this text. Okay, very basic example. When I click on this button, I want to modify the text. This text is there in state. It means whenever I click on this button, I want to modify the state. So let's see how it's possible. Uh, so click on the button. To click on the button, generally in JavaScript, how we write? In JavaScript, we'll write click. On click event we'll write. Okay. Same click event we'll write in React.js also, but a small difference is on a capital click. Because see, small difference is there. It is lowercase click, it is uppercase click. But because It is not actually HTML. As I said, it is JSX. It is a separate templating we are using in React JS. Okay, because that's why we are using class name. And click on capital click. So what I do is on click. Okay, so here there are all React things. On React on click is equal to, I have to call a function. What is that? Just say good morning. Because this is the class component, so you can use the keyword called this dot say good morning. Okay, I have to create this function now here. So let's say good morning is equal to one arrow function. Okay, so here I'll make a console log. So you clicked a button. Okay, like this. So I have a button on click. I'm calling with React expression this dot good morning. So whenever the click happens, then I'm gonna call the function, and here I have a you clicked a button. So now let's check, are we getting this console log or not? Now back to console window, back to console. Let's forget about all this. When I click on this button, yes, I got this thing. When I click on now, so how many times I click, I get this. Uh, okay, so this is how you will implement the events. But one important thing you have to understand is generally in JavaScript, what you do whenever the click happens, you actually call a function here, right? You will call a function here. But what I'm given is just function name. I'm not given any function call here. Okay. Uh, okay, let's see. If I keep a function, sir, what happens? Just like JavaScript. See here, go back. See, I have not even clicked a button. Okay, I repeat, I tell you what happening. Just keep it empty now. Okay, observe closely. I make it empty. If it is empty, if it is empty, no output here, right? No output. This is a, let's forget about this thing. When I click on the button, the moment I got this. So function got executed whenever you click on a button. Okay. Now, if you don't click, no output. Okay. So if I make some function call here, then what happens is, check, button click has happened automatically without clicking the button. And when you click on the button, nothing is working. Okay. As soon as the page loads, function you got executed automatically, and while clicking it not work. So the concept here is when you call a function here, it doesn't matter you click or not, it execute automatically. So make sure in React JS you never mention a function call like this. You just have to mention only the function name. Okay, so then only for click event it works. That's the React JS thing. Why the function execute two times? Uh, Actually my browser restarted. I mean loaded two times. Okay, fine. Now, yeah, okay. So we got a console log, but I don't want console log. Actually, our plan is what? I want to modify this hello to good morning. Okay, let's make this content as watch good morning. Okay. So when I click on this particular button, I want to display this as nice good morning message. So what if this message is coming in a state? So I want to modify the state. So I can do like this dot state dot message is equal to good morning. Okay, so when I click on the button, it's called this function, it changed the message to good morning. Okay, this thing. So now check, when I click on the button, it is not changing. Okay, when I click on the button, it's not changing. And when I go to inspect, if I go to console, you got watch. See, you got a small warning. What is that? Wish message.js line number 12, that is here. What is saying? Do not mutate the state directly. Use the set state function. It means you cannot mutate, you cannot modify the state directly. Okay, there is a way to change the states, that is using a set state function. Okay, so sir, how to change the state is not just like this. There is a function called this dot set state function. Okay, so here you can give a state data. I want to give message will be good morning, like this. So this is how you have to change the state. Okay, not just directly. So now check, when I click on this, see it is modified to good morning. So when the page load state was hello, and when I click on the button, it is changed to good morning. So this is how you can make a event handling in React.js. Very simple. Click on one function you have to call, and you want to modify the state using like the set state. Okay, but I want to make some nice example. I didn't want this basic like this. Let's make some nice three buttons and modify. So I'll do one thing. I'll just take everything in one card body. I paste. Okay. Okay, nice card now. So here I want to take three buttons extra. One is good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay. So this is for good afternoon, and this is for good evening. Okay. So this is for a function we have to. Let's make this is btn minus success, and this is btn minus warning. Okay, you have three set of buttons. Okay, so whatever the button I click, that data has to be displayed over here. So we need to have three functions. So back to here, let's copy this, paste. So this is gonna be say good afternoon. I want to modify this to good afternoon. Okay, so another function. So say good evening. I want to modify this to be good evening. Okay, so now I have to call these functions to modify. So what do you do here? Say good afternoon, and this is say good evening, like this. See, so whatever the button you click, that particular function executes, and that data will be updated on the state. So now check, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, so looks good. So now we understand how to create a state and how to modify the state, and now we also understand how to change the data, right? How to add events. Fine. So let's take some realistic example where which you can use in real time. Like you'll be having a shopping cart, right? There you click on a plus symbol, it adds some new item. If you click on it, increases the item, and if you less minus symbol, it reduces the item. That one. So let's make that example now. Okay. So now let's make some new interesting example. What is that is? I wanted to create a nice shopping cart list. Okay, just one item. It is one item we'll take here. I will take some items. So here I wanted to display some items. So let's take some table like this. And here what I do is I create some symbols. Here I wanted to plus symbol, and here I want that item, and here I wanted the minus symbol. Here plus symbol, here minus symbol. You have any symbols? Okay, let's ignore. Assume you have a plus minus symbol, and here you have a plus symbol. Okay, now plan is here some number. Okay, 5. Okay, so I wanted to make this application now. Small components. Okay, when I click on plus, I want to increment this. Minus, I want to reduce this. Same state component and event handling. So here you understand more clearly. Okay, so for this I want to create a separate component because this functionality is a separate thing. It's not inside of this thing. So let me close it. So here in components, I create a new JavaScript. What you make is So product item. Okay, I create a separate component product item. So let's make imports React from React class product item extends React dot components. So here I'll take one constructor con tab and I'll make one render. So let's take some h2 product item. Okay, and here export default product item. Okay, so let me add this to my app.js back here. Let me comment out the wish message. I don't want it. If you comment what happened, the whole thing will not display here. Okay, I wanted to display only product. We can display that, but I don't want it to show that every time. So I just wanted to focus on only this one now. So only product item. Okay, so let me design the page in this type of table. Okay, here we have some data, right? But let's maintain some data from a stage. As of now, we don't have server or something, so we'll make a static data using state. So this dot stage is equal to an object. Okay, so here an item I'll be having watch. So ID, let's make 1001 ID, and item will have a name. What's the name of the item? Let's say something called Samsung watch. Okay, some smartwatch. And what else? You need to have a quantity. Okay, so existing quantities, let's take 4. Okay, and the price is around some 599 rupees, comma total also 599. No? Okay, this is for default information. Okay, actually the total we can make it in the next layer. No. Mm, fine. Anyway, price into quantity is the total, right? So don't make total over here. Fine. So only these three. I mean these four. I want to display in a table format. Okay. So back to here. I create a nice table, bootstrap table. Give a class called table. Let's make the setup and then we'll start with the event handling. Table hover and text center and table striped and table warning, something like this. So T head with some bg dark text white. Okay, so T head we wanted what? First table row, table header. First I wanted the item ID and another one. So item name and here item quantity. Next, what else? The price. One more we'll make is total cost you take. So let's check what happened. Okay, but there is no margin top. We can take with the table itself. Actually, you can keep the table inside a container, but that's okay. Let's take margin top 3. Okay, fine. So here we need to have a data. So I'm just making static data, no looping, because we are not learn the list components. So T body table row table data. So first of all item. So how to get the item using state dot item dot id. So here this dot state dot item dot id. So you get the id. Okay, fine. And then let's make item dot name and then item dot quantity, item dot price. Okay, total will keep it empty as of now. We will make it later. Okay, let's keep this as nothing. Just say total, but total word is not there. Let's take some text total, basic text total. Okay, Fine. I just wanted to make some bold text. Do one thing. Go to app.css. We don't need all this. Dot table. So t body, table row, table data. Let's take some font weight bold so I can get bold text. This looks good. Now here I want to take two buttons. One is plus symbol and minus symbol. So where it is in the price. So back to here in the quantity. Oh, in the quantity, no. Yeah. So in the quantity, I'll make it like this. I'll take an icon. Okay. I tag with the class call fa font as my icons. Okay. Fa minus. I think it's minus circle. You get a icon is not coming. I think it is because of font awesome. Do one thing. One small thing you have to do. The font you have to give online link. Okay, so that we forgot actually. We given only local link. You have to give the online link to get actually the fonts, new fonts. Okay, go back to index. Don't worry, I share this index link. So you have to give online link as well along with the local link. You must have to give the online link as well to get the icons. Yes, I got icon. Back to here. Let's make some nice color. So text primary. Okay, minus symbol. Some space is required. So margin right 2. Okay, fine. And here I need a plus symbol. So let's take a same. And for here margin left to 2. Give some space over there. And text primary FA minus plus circle. Okay, this is plus circle. That is minus circle. Fine. So it looks like a product app. Now plan is whenever I click on the plus symbol, I want to modify the 4. Before I want to modify the 4, I want to visualize the state data also so that I can easily understand. Instead of go to console log, I wanted to visualize the state here. That's quite simple. You do one thing. Here you can write a pre tag, and here I just want to visualize the data. So you can just say JSON dot stringify of this dot state. If you write JSON.stringify, the same state you can display in a string format. Okay, see now we understand. Item ID, this is state we have. So if you click on this, I want to modify only quantity, increase the quantity. So when I click on a plus symbol button, so what you do, plus icon, I write on click is equal to this dot increase increase quantity. Okay, so let's create this function. Back to where here. So increase quantity. Okay, so here I want to just increment. How to increment using set state. So what I do is this dot set state. Okay, here what I'm doing is item. Okay, what you want to update only quantity. So QTY I want to update to what? So this dot states dot QTY plus 1. That's it, no? You can increase the state and attach back to the state again. So let's check. If I click on a plus symbol, not working. Something went wrong. No error. Then how come? Increase state. It has to work, man. Let's make some alerts. Alerts. Increase QTY. Okay. So let's check. So whenever I click on this, it's not connected. Someone is saying you have given click in span, not in button. Add in minus. Oh, okay, 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 got it. I think I made somewhere in. It's correct only, man. Icon, right? When I click on the. Oh, sorry. I'm given for minus. It must be plus now. Sorry. I actually given for minus. Let's cut this. I have to give it for plus. For increase is plus. Okay, so increase plus. So now check the plus. When I click on the plus, yes, I got increased quantity. It's become null. Ah, okay, I tell you what happened. Um, I don't want this now. See here, observe closely. Something happened now. It is like this. Whenever I click on the plus symbol, this is state data, okay? When I click on the plus symbol, all the remaining things has went off and quantity has become null. So why all the remaining data has went off is as soon as you have done this. See, state item is having 4 fields. Now I'm setting item with only one field. So what happened? Existing data has gone off and new data, only one quantity is there. No, I wanted to keep hold of existing states and also add a new property. So how you do is there is a spread operator dot. This is JavaScript, okay? ES6. This dot, you want to keep hold of existing fields also. The dot states dot item. Okay, so you must have to write this. So this catch hold of all the previous items. Only the quantity has to be changed. Okay, so now check. I have this. Click on the plus. Yes, it's become null. Okay, let's see what happened. This dot state dot quantity. Sorry, it's not this dot state. This is item dot state. Item dot quantity plus one because quantity inside an item, right? Okay, now check. Yeah, click on the plus symbol. You got 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, it is working. Fine. Now let's make a minus. If I click on minus, I want to reduce. So for reduce, you have to make a click event on this one. So just say on click, on click. So this dot decrease quantity. Okay, so let's create this function now. Okay, let's say decrease quantity is equal to one arrow function. Okay, so let's make a same story. Only thing you have to do is quantity minus 1. Okay, so let's check. It was 4. Click on plus symbol increasing, minus symbol decreasing. That's fine, but one problem we face, if I still click on minus 1 0, okay, if I click on still minus, it's become minus. No, it's not supposed to go to minus numbers. Okay, it just has to stop at 0. So what you do is here you can make a condition. You can make condition is if item dot state dot quantity minus 1, if you even though you reduce 1, if it is greater than or equal to 0, okay, then what to display? If it is more than 0, then display the data, otherwise 0. This is how you write. So some small condition I made. If it is more than 0, then display that quantity, otherwise just 0. Okay, now check. If I click on this 0, even though you click on, it's not reducing than 0. Okay, so maximum you can, I mean minimum you can make 0, plus can be anything. Okay, so now it is not going to the minus numbers. Fine, that's happy. But thing is, What about the prices? The price is not increasing as per the quantity. Okay, actually price cannot increase, total cost will increase. Okay, so item price will be same, total cost will be what? Price into quantity. So this into this will be this one. So for total, I will create a separate function. Let's take get total is equal to one arrow function. So here what I do is return watch. So this dot state dot item dot quantity into this dot state dot item dot price. Correct. So item into uh, item quantity into price is the total. So let me copy that. Where you do is here in place of this thing. Let's say get total function, not get total. What is that? Okay, get total. So you can just say this dot get total function you call. Okay. So let's check. Oh, you have to call a function. It's not even no. Just make it a function call. Okay. See now check. It is reducing. So 0 it is 0 only. One item 599. Next is increasing. So this is how you make. Okay. So this again a state change using events. Fine. So now we understand how to make events, and the next concept is going to be the forms. So how to handle the forms. So anyway, 1.5 for today. Fine. So forms concept we will be pushing to the next class. Okay. So fine. Now very important thing I want to tell you now. What is that is yes we have made some applications, right? So you need a source code. So we made React Social, Bootstrap, and this is events. I'll modify the folder name. So here I'm going to share only two folders for every project, that is public and SRC. Okay. So you have to create a new fresh project of React.js. There only replace this public and SRC folder so that you'll get the application. Okay. And even for React Bootstrap also, everything only I'm going to share these two, public and SRC. Just create a new fresh project, replace public and SRC folder with my folder. So you will get the content. Okay. Except these two, everything is same, and that you will generate from React. Okay. So that only thing you have to do. Where you gonna share this? I'm gonna share through email ID as of now. So going forward, once everyone paid the fees, I'll start sharing with GitHub. Okay. As of now, I'll share with email only. Fine. Okay. So yeah, any questions? Yeah, I can take some questions. Let me unmute everyone so that you can talk to me now. Uh, Unmute all. Yeah. Anybody? Any questions? One more thing. Tomorrow no class. Tomorrow is Sunday in Indian time, no class. And I say today is the last day to attend my class. And Sunday no class anyway. Just make sure you pay by Sunday at least. So Monday onwards, I'll be sharing a new link to join for the paid people. Okay. So if any issues in payment, you can just talk to me through my number. Okay, you know my number, right? So you can just talk to me or ping me on WhatsApp. Okay, so make sure you pay the final amount by Sunday. And those who paid, just ignore. Those who are not paid, just Sunday is the last day for you. Okay, fine. And yeah, anybody want to talk to me? No one? People chatting. Can we install Bootstrap with the help of NPM? Yes, we can. We can install Bootstrap, but the problem is unmuted, no? I click on unmute for everyone. You can just unmute yourself also. Okay. Ah, some people asking how to install Bootstrap with NPM. Yes, we can install Bootstrap with NPM, but the problem is only Bootstrap will come. And again, jQuery you have to install separately. MDB you have to install separately. That's a whole concept. Okay, that's why I made basically just only one files. Okay, just 2-3 files. If you install NPM through I mean, if you install Bootstrap through npm, it comes with all the unnecessary files. See, when we install this thing, no, here, if you install MDB, all these files will come, but we are not using all the files. We are using only the selected files. Okay. So anyway, Bootstrap is our well-known project, and we know which JavaScript file is required. So this is how I made it manually. You can use npm also. Okay. And are you going to share this class? Yes, I'm going to share this class. Uh, as of today, up to today, what we discuss is free of cost for everyone. That will be available in YouTube. After completion of this class, you can find out. Okay, which one has highest market share, Django or React? Uh, actually, Django used for client side, right? I can say React. Okay, when compared with React and Django, I can say React is having a more market than Django. Okay, so actually Django based on Python. You know why Python has came to the market is for data science and machine learning. Okay, so that's the most priorities for that. But along with the Python, they also develop a front end framework. But very few people are using Django for front end, but mostly React and Angular. Okay, and very few people also using Vue.js. Okay, um, okay, fine. That's it. So thank you so much for joining, and I have a notes also. Don't worry. Uh, the concept that the slides are very few content. Don't worry. I have a notes, PDF notes. I'll be preparing. So on Monday I'll share the PDF notes as well. Okay. So don't worry. So the notes will be shared, slides will be shared, source code will be shared, and also this video will be shared. So everything will be there with you lifetime. Okay. You can just watch a number of times. Okay, and daily what you have to do is just concentrate what is happening daily. Okay, after going home you can take your own time and learn for the whole day. Okay, that's the plan. At least example how it is explaining events, at least another example, huh? Okay, we'll make on Monday more examples on events is not finished. Okay, wait, events is not finished, we'll make some new examples on Monday again. Okay, there is one stopwatch example that also we'll see, and some good examples on forms we'll see. Okay, form validation and all we'll see. Okay, any queries when we'll ask? Actually we have a Telegram group. You can just join the Telegram group. I think if you can go to my if you go to Google and just type my name, you get my GitHub account. There you have a link. Yeah, here you have a link, this link. So if you click on this link, it adds to the UI Brains Technologies YouTube. I mean UI Brains, this Telegram link. If you join this from mobile, you have to do it. Okay. Okay, if you join this, you can ask some questions. There are some 1,000 plus members are there. You can just uh, keep, you can any issue you face, like something you're trying to do but you're not, it's not working, you can take a screenshot and share in the group. Okay, so I'm the admin, and these many people are there, so if they know, they'll help you. If they're not know, definitely I'll help you. Okay, this is a general group, you can join. Especially for online classes, I have a separate group. For online class group is I think it is not kept here. I think you go to repositories. If you go to repositories, there is one UI development course content. Yeah, here. I think I given some. Yes, this one. Don't join this one. It is older. This one. UI Brains online Telegram link. Okay. So you go to repositories, the Navin Sagam and UI development course content. If you go there, okay. So there is a link called here. If you click on this, there are few members only, specially only for online. You can join this group. Okay. So this is especially for online, and that was which I showed earlier. This was general group for offline class also. Okay. You can join this group. Okay. So this is the group for us. Everything is there. No? Fine. So that's it, man. Thank you so much. And please make a payment as soon as possible. Okay. Then thank you.